Kraken Home Ice is sponsored by Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
And it's the final game of 4 straight at home. The Seattle Kraken take on the Ottawa Senators.
In front, Gaudette denied by Decord. Great play by Montour. Going down, showing his will.
Well, one thing you know is Monty's not going to give up on the play. Defenseman going back, playing goalie.
The second of 3 meetings this season, the Kraken and the Chicago Blackhawks. Bjorkstrand, slap pass, a good one. They score! Beautiful play. Riker Evans flashing on the weak side. The trailer Hall, a shot, a rebound. Decord said no. Welcome to T-Mobile Arena as the Seattle Kraken take on the Vegas Golden Knights. Drop it off for Dunn. Dunn a shot. He scores with traffic out in front. Vince Dunn, he gets the goal on the power play, and the Kraken are off and running.
The Kraken are in the middle of another road trip. They faced Vegas tonight, then they take on Colorado tomorrow before they head into the holiday break. And they would have loved to hit this road trip on a high note. Unfortunately, they struggled in their recent homestand, losing the finale to Ottawa Tuesday night. Welcome to another episode of Kraken Home Ice. We'll hear from Kraken General Manager Ron Francis on the team's shift in mindset. Head coach Dan Bosma tells us about what he's liking from his team right now and where he'd like to see the most improvement. And we're talking to Shane Wright about the progression of his first full NHL season and what he's learned from the veterans on the team.
On Tuesday, the Kraken wrapped up their 4-game homestand against the Ottawa Senators. They got off to a hot start with 15 shots on goal, but could not find the back of the net. Ottawa breaks up a scoreless game in the second. Shane Pinto beats Joey Decord to put the Senators up 1-0. They scored 2 more goals, and there could have been 1 more, but Brandon Montour makes a great save in the third. A highlight play in a 3-0 loss. Monty not happy with the team getting shut out.
Again, I think we got to look at ourselves in the mirror. I don't know how many we've been shut out this year, but we've played less than 35 games and we've been shut out 6-7 times. With the skill we got on this team.
Despite the result of Tuesday's game, it was a big night for Matty Beniers. He played in his 200th NHL game. Beniers is the 3rd player from the 2021 NHL draft class to reach that milestone.
It's a dream to play in the NHL, and you get to do it every day for a job. So, I'd say we're, all the guys in that locker room and myself are pretty lucky guys, and, I just try to enjoy it.
A young player growing in his game, a young player trying to figure it out. And that's the great thing about Matty is he's constantly and continually working on where he can be better at, what he needs to do to have success in the game.
On Wednesday, the Kraken made some roster moves. They work a trade with the New York Rangers for forward Kaapo Kakko. In exchange, the Kraken send defenseman Will Borgen to New York, along with a 3rd-round pick and a 6th-round pick in next year's draft. Borgen was one of the original members of the Kraken, selected from the Buffalo Sabres in the 2021 NHL expansion draft. As for Kakko, he will represent Finland at the upcoming 4 Nations face-off, which makes him the only member of the Kraken playing in that tournament. Kakko was selected by the Rangers 2nd overall in the 2019 NHL draft. The 23-year-old has 61 goals and 131 points in his 330 career regular season games with the Rangers. Kakko says he's excited for the fresh start in Seattle.
I think this year there's been some good games and then kind of bad games also. And it's a new chance for me. I played there for a long time, just one team. I'm happy to be here.
It's been a whirlwind few days for Kakko. His trade was announced Wednesday. Thursday, he was on the ice with the Kraken in Chicago to face the Blackhawks. The Kraken trying to bounce back from a blanking in Ottawa, but they managed only 1 goal. The first period starts off strong with some great saves by goalie Joey Decord. The Blackhawks do get one by him to take a 1-0 lead. They get another one in the second before Riker Evans scores a beauty. The puck goes from Brandon Montour to Oliver Bjorkstrand. Then Evans finishes diving toward the goal. Great effort in a losing cause. The Blackhawks beat the Kraken 3-1.
A lot of progress and a lot of changes this season for the Kraken, and there's been a shift in mindset. Kraken General Manager Ron Francis sat down with the voice of the Kraken, John Forsland, to discuss what he's been seeing in the team.
Well, coaches lay out the plan and organize everything, but as you know, it's up to the players, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you think happened? You know, starting with Carolina, creep into their mindset a little bit for the fans. You know, what do you think happened there to draw this out of them?
Yeah, I know. We had a beauty of playing in the West is you get a lot of time on an airplane, so you get a lot of time to talk. So Dan spent a lot of time talking with his coaches on the flight, and we talked a little bit at the end. And I said, let's get to the hotel, check in, and let's sit and just have a beer and talk about things. And some of the things we talked about is revisiting kind of what we're doing systematic-wise. I thought we got a little bit sloppy in those games leading up to Thanksgiving and that road trip. So, Dan and his staff had a meeting before practice the following day, went back over system stuff. He said the dialogue was really good with the players and understanding kind of what we needed to do and how we needed to play. And we made some roster adjustments. Maybe that opened up some eyes, but I thought the game in Carolina was one of our best games of the season. You win a game like that, it gives you confidence. Right now you go into Long Island, you win another one. The Jersey one was tough, 3-4 for us. They hadn't played since Monday. And Monty would love to have that one back where he has the wide open net and it slides past the post. But if we do that, we at least get a point out of that, which is, again, you always want to win a hockey game, but I'm happy with the effort we had that night and the way we played. And then coming back, it was a little bit of a circus in the morning with Joy being sick and signing the amateur tryout guy. But our guys fell behind early, but found a way to compete and battle back and win a hockey game. So I like the way we're playing more importantly than anything else at this point.
So with the holidays, if you had one wish for your team, one thing you'd like to see, more of the same? Is there something else, another step you'd like to see the team make as we approach the second half of the season?
Yeah, no, you always wish for a team to be healthy because I think when we're healthy, we have a chance to beat anybody. So that's number one. And then two, I just, I like to see that the way we're playing now, I'd like to see that continue. And I like the fact that we're having some success because, as a player, you work really hard. You like to get results and you want to feel good about your game and your team. And I think we're getting to that point. It's not going to be easy. Our schedule is real tough here again for the next month, but then we sort of get a little reprieve in the schedule where it gets better for us. But keep doing more of what we're doing and finding a way to rack up points.
Coming up on Kraken Home Ice, we'll hear from Shane Wright on what he's learned in his first full season with the team and how head coach Dan Bosma helped with his transition to the league.
I know what he expects of me after playing a full year under him last year, so it's nice. Same system as well.
And we'll sit down with Bosma to talk about the team's progress when it comes to the power play and the speed of the game.
We are Ridgecrest Elementary School. We are a community school here in Shoreline, Washington. We are a really diverse school. 52% of our students are a person of color. I'm always thinking about how can we make our kids be exposed to other things that they are not normally exposed to, and this is just a great gift for our kids.
Oh my God!
Yeah!
When I think of the Seattle Kraken, I think of my hometown, I think of my community. One thing about community is a two-way connection. Not just kids going to games, but it's the Kraken coming to our school and being blessed by our beautiful students who are diverse and speak multiple languages and come from different parts of the world. Being able to share that direction with the Kraken is a gift to the Kraken community as well as to our school. We have a hockey player on our team.
This is such a strong community in Shoreline that just having that relationship, that having that partnership with other people like the Seattle Kraken, I think it's always powerful.
In his first full season in the NHL, Shane Wright is starting to find his groove. A lot has changed for him over the past month since he was a healthy scratch for 3 games. Now he's focused on being the best player he can be every game.
Wright shoots, score! A power play goal again for the Kraken.
They tried to write him off, but just like Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith, Shane Wright didn't write back.
The rebound scores! Shane Wright in the right place at the right time.
The Kraken rookie is finding his stride with 6 goals and 6 assists since being a healthy scratch mid-November. Prior to the reset, Wright had 1 goal and 1 assist in 18 games. He says the biggest thing he's focused on now is just being himself on the ice.
Wide open, they score! Shane Wright on the weak side, a beautiful play.
Yeah, I think just playing with confidence and playing the way I know I can. I think, just going out there and just being myself and not trying to be anything I'm not, or not trying to play any different way.
The rookie center is in his first full season in the NHL. Wright was the Kraken's 4th overall pick in the 2022 draft and spent the past 2 seasons playing with Coachella Valley. He was recalled for 8 Kraken games in both seasons before making his first opening day roster this year.
It's been a lot of fun. Obviously, it's pretty cool being here in the NHL full time and be able to be in this situation.
While with the Firebirds, Wright was coached by current Kraken head coach Dan Bosma and assistant coach Jessica Campbell, which Shane says has helped a lot with his full-time move to Seattle.
I know what he expects of me after playing a full year under him last year, so it's nice. Same system as well. Be able to transition a little easier from last year to this year.
Shane is the youngest full-time member of the D at 20 years old. The rookie is happy to be picking up tips from his teammates.
We have a lot of really good veterans on the team, guys who I've watched when I was younger and growing up watching. So it's a lot of guys I can learn a lot from, and guys who are really, really smart and well-respected guys here.
And he's hitting all the right notes. When Shane isn't lighting the lamp, he's strumming on 6 strings. He's been learning how to play the guitar. Shane's goal? To play along with one of his top country artists.
Right now, my favorite's probably Riley Green. He's a pretty big country artist. That'd be pretty cool to play with him.
A record 8 Kraken prospects will play in the world's premier under-20 hockey event from December 26th to January 5th in Ottawa. Spokane Chiefs forward Berkeley Catton, the team's number 8 overall pick last June, will represent the Kraken on Team Canada. He joins forward Carson Rakoff and defenseman Caden Price on the gold medal favorite Canadian side.
Other Kraken prospects headed to the tournament include Team Finland winger Julius Miettinen of the Everett Silvertips and goalie Kim Saarinen. 2023 top pick Edward Chalet will play for the Czech Republic.
Coming up on Kraken Home Ice, head coach Dan Bosma is happy with what he's been seeing from his team, especially on the power play. We talked to Coach Dan about improvements he wants to see on the ice and about how running became an important part of his pregame routine.
This is kind of my time of the day to say release my mind a little bit, just focus on the moment and focus on breathing.
And in this week's shootout, the players tell us about when they first started playing hockey.
Assist of the Week is sponsored by Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
Bjorkstrand, slap pass, a good one. They score! Beautiful play!
The assist of the week goes to Oliver Bjorkstrand. In Thursday's game against the Blackhawks, Bjorkstrand teams up with Riker Evans. The slap pass to Evans, and he finishes falling down. Good-looking play as Bjorkstrand gets the assist of the week.
As the team approaches the holiday break, Brianna Vasquez sat down with head coach Dan Bosma to discuss what he likes about the team right now and where he thinks they need some work.
Kind of return to that consistent north speed, energetic, aggressive, on our toes type of hockey on the road trip. And we brought it back home against the Panthers in Boston. So I think you're starting to see more and more of how we need to play to have success. So that is the good thing. What needs to improve is just our consistency with bringing it each night. And as you look at the first part of the season, you see some dips and inconsistencies in that game night after night. You're seeing more and more consistency in bringing it. So, as we get to the halfway point, you just look for our team to put out the same products. Same execution, north, fast, quick to the offensive zone, and doing it over and over and over and over again for 60 minutes and playing that 60-minute hockey game that we need to play to have success.
That's Kraken hockey, baby! What a victory!
And with consistency, the power play has been connecting. What changed there?
A little bit of confidence. I think, you know, we had a stretch there where you get a few opportunities a game, you don't have success. You get a little frustrated. You're working to get chances, you're working to get opportunities, you get them, and you don't score. And kind of the mindset and the focus shifts on the power play to a -1. And, you know, over the last 7-8 games, power play has gotten those opportunities, and we've scored those opportunities. And just the way we've scored with the opportunities, I think, game against Boston, you get a power play right at the beginning of the game, you step over the boards, you execute, you score a goal. Just it builds confidence, it builds momentum. And they've carried that over game to game here in the last 6 or 7 games. And you know, power play is critical to every game. Power play, penalty kill, it's critical to every game. And so the mindset that is stepping over the board, you're going to score a goal, is a huge positive that we can take.
Power play goal, the Kraken off and running.
The speed of the first has gotten a lot quicker. A few weeks ago, we were talking about the speed needed to get picked up. What changed there?
Really started with the mindset, the guys against the Carolina team. I think a team that had come into our building and had their way with us, I'll say, a little bit in the game. And so I think we were really super focused and intentional on our execution and our puck play and making sure every puck's going north, making sure every puck's getting behind the defense. And that led to us playing a fast game, an aggressive game, an our toes game.
Busting in for a chance, he scores!
You know, Schwartzy said it after that game, it should give us a lot of confidence. So if we play this way, we can have success. And we've carried that over now. And I talk about what we've done well, like that's what we've done better and better and better of, and that's what we have to get more consistent at night in and night out.
A 4-2 win over the Carolina Hurricanes.
And in past interviews, we've talked about running. You run 4 games. When did that start?
Started when I started to be a coach. I was enlightened to breathing and being more focused by a mentor, and I got that through running, and just being real intentional about running and my breathing, both when I'm exercising and when I'm standing behind the bench. Looks like I'm holding my breath. I have now developed a routine. On the road, I do it the day before game, and at home, I do it the day of a game. Part of my game day, the players have to get ready and focused to put it on the ice for the game, but that's when I get ready for my game day.
And Christmas next week, what has been a favorite Christmas gift you've received?
Since my son has gotten older, he's gotten really good at giving thoughtful gifts, personal gifts, for you as an individual. And so my son's gifts over the last few years have been my favorite Christmas gifts.
Many of the Kraken players have been skating since they could walk, with some of their earliest childhood memories having to do with hockey. In this week's shootout, we asked the players at what age did they start playing hockey.
18 months old, I got on the ice. I got on the ice a little before that, and I told my mom it was too slippery, and she took me home. And then I got back on 18 months and kind of went from there.
I think I was 3 years old when I started playing hockey. My parents brought me to the rink for the first time when I was 2 weeks old. I started skating when I was 2 years old. I started goalie lessons when I was 5.
I was 4 years old when I started playing hockey.
I started skating around 2.5, 3.
I was 2 or 3 years old when I started playing hockey.
Probably 3 years old, yeah, so pretty early.
How old was I? Probably early 3, 4. From what I remember being able to walk, I had a pair of skates on.
I think I was around 4 years old when I started playing.
Organized hockey started around probably 6 or 7.
I want to say about 6, probably. I started playing when I was 3.
Coming up on Kraken Home Ice, in the case of an emergency, there's always a backup goalie at Kraken home games. They're called E-Bugs, or emergency backup goalies. We talked to the E-Bugs of the Kraken. Every NHL team has an E-Bug in case of an emergency. An e-bug will be activated if needed by either the Kraken or their opponent. We talked to one of the goalies who's ready to go at a moment's notice.
The game of hockey can sometimes be unpredictable. At one moment, you could be at Climate Pledge Arena cheering on the Kraken, and the next, you're pulled from the stands to sit on the team's bench as a goalie. That's the reality for emergency backup goalies, or e-bugs. In the NHL, there must be 2 goalies at all times, one in the net and one on the bench. If one goes down mid-game, teams have an emergency backup at every home game ready to help either team. Sean Schneider is one of the goalies ready to answer the call for the Kraken.
My story is kind of unique in this regard because I was living in Buffalo and I was sitting at the table eating dinner with my parents on a random Saturday night, and I get a call from the Buffalo Sabres, and they asked, "Hey, are you available to be the emergency backup goalie?" And I'm like, am I available to be the emergency backup goalie? Yeah.
Schneider has been playing hockey his whole life, even playing for his college's club team. This is his 2nd season as a Kraken e-bug. Most nights, e-bugs are just regular fans in the stands, but if their number is called, they also get paid hockey minimum wage just for being there.
So it's getting paid to watch hockey, and then worst comes to worst, you have to go and play in the game, which is really best comes to best. Hopefully your goalies aren't getting hurt.
While the likelihood of an e-bug having to suit up and get into the game is extremely low, it can be a little nerve-wracking knowing you could be called up at any moment.
I think the odds of going in are so low, I'm not really too worried about it. But then a play will happen and the goalie will stay down on the ice, and I'm like, oh, is it happening? Is it happening? And then they get up and I'm like, oh.
E-bugs are unique to the NHL. There's no other sport or league that has anything similar.
A lot of people don't know that it's a thing. When you try to explain it to them, it doesn't sound real. Like, you get paid to go watch the game, and if the goalies get hurt, you play? I'm like, yeah.
Last week, Kraken fans at Bellevue Square got a big surprise. Philip Grubauer made an appearance at the Kraken team store to meet with fans and sign autographs. Gruby even helped some fans pick out some Kraken Christmas gifts. And speaking of holiday shopping, the Kraken have you covered with special ticket offers. Each holiday ticket pack comes with 2 tickets to 3 upcoming games and 2 pairs of holiday-themed Kraken socks. Some of the games included are January 6th against the New Jersey Devils and February 2nd against the Calgary Flames. The Kraken play the Avalanche in Colorado tomorrow. Then they get a much-deserved holiday break before they play in Vancouver next Saturday. Their next home game, December 30th, against the Utah Hockey Club. That'll do it for us. Thank you for looking in. Happy holidays. We'll see you next week.
Kraken Home Ice is sponsored by Primera Blue Cross.